Hello, everyone. We're back. It's the end of the month, kind of. These ones took a little bit longer to come than normal, I think. But I think that's because
What
they were shipping
year is it?
the frog dog and stuff. So, I'm once again joined by Jay. Hello, Jay.
Hello, everybody.
We are looking at beta. We have beta content. I don't think we had it last time. There was no beta stuff released.
Yeah, I completely forgot about this release until Rob hopped into my DMs like, "Hey, you want to record tomorrow?"
Yeah, it took a while for people to
While,
get these. Like I said, I think it's probably because they're shipping out Frog Dog. So
probably.
make sure to check your backer kits because people are getting charged and stuff. You don't want to miss out on your Frog Dog or your Roll Survivors Showdown board or shirts.
A momentous occasion.
So we have three things to talk about. The shop actually had a lot of things. There was a bust for sale for Morgan. There was a reprint of Forge God, which was pretty cool, totally unexpected. Finally, there was Witch of the East Star released.
He is here, boys and girls.
Yes.
Fancy witches here.
And then we had another Easter Apotheosis, right? I think it was.
Yes, Easter Apotheosis. I think they also ran Easter Eye as well. I mean, that's not.
I think so, yeah. And then there was the Death High Necromancer, which is cool.
Yes, she's ballin'.
She
We
is.
saw that last year at Gen Con, or the art last year at Gen Con,
Yes,
I believe.
we did. You are correct. It's really cool. So that none of those had any kind of content or anything, but no gameplay stuff. But still very cool. I know a lot of people were waiting for Witch of the East Star to finally release.
Like 4 or 5 years since
Yeah,
that was released.
and it's just really cool to see the remaster of Forge God. That's really
God,
cool.
absolutely. That's one of the big things people like show when somebody asks about uh, Kingdom Death Monster, right?
Yes.
Like that's one of the minis.
Yep. So we have two actual physical releases. There was a sim release. Now we're going to talk about Kale, but Kale was not a white box. He was just sim only.
Yeah. Well, he was a white box on the sim, technically.
Correct. He's a digital white box.
Yes, like Morg. Very, very, very similar to Morg.
Yes, another indomitable like Morg. But it doesn't seem. It seems like these are going to be releasing more frequent, or releasing on the sim faster than they're going to be releasing physically, if at all. So we're just going to talk about Kale real quick.
Yeah.
You have the lore pulled up.
Yes, I do. Kale inhaled deeply and roared into his roaring harmonica. Shockwaves of his indomitable, there's no second B, spirit spread across the stone faces and encouraged the survivors back to their feet. The sound was terrible, and Kale was an absolute madman. But the survivors knew he was their madman, and they stood grinning, their inner lanterns ablaze, ready to continue their life. Or, I'm assuming that means, it says of, but it should be or, life or death showdown.
Yeah.
Also, buyer beware, I guess. Kale's huge.
Yeah.
He is probably on scale with like bone eaters for some reason.
Yes.
He's like, I don't know, head and shoulders and biceps above other modern scale minis on the sim like Lenore.
Yes. He's quite big.
Yes. Just what I felt like that's necessary to mention that he's a weird scale, which makes me think he's not going to get printed physically.
Yeah, or he gets scaled down, maybe, perhaps.
Maybe, but like also Morg is tiny. He's way smaller than
Yep.
modern scale. So these have been weird, but they're cool. At least they're cool models.
They are.
Anyway,
He's a white lion.
Yes.
Another white lion, like Lenore. So this is the second indomitable resource that we have. For white lion, I mean. Now, he has the roaring harmonica, which again, to do these, the indomitable, you need to defeat a level 3 in order to get it, and then you get one of them at random.
yes.
So you're either going to get, if you use both Lenore, well, if you're using the more resources you put into that deck, nothing filters them after you get one. So you could repeatedly draw Lenore's thing and never actually get this. But since the deck is lower right now, the count is low, you're very likely to get this.
Currently 50-50.
Yeah, you're very likely.
We know, I think we know for a fact, if not, it's definitely likely that White Line will get Indomitable resources in COD.
Yes.
If I was a betting man, I'd say about 3, like the Phoenix.
Yeah.
But we don't know that for sure.
We don't know. I think Smog has like 5.
Smog has 5, but one of them is essentially useless.
Yeah, so you never know.
Phoenix has 3, Croc has like 6.
Yeah, well, I mean, we'll have a better idea soon. Because we'll see Frog Dog.
Yeah. Yes.
So we'll know, but...
Oh, is he? I guess he will, yeah.
Yeah, Frog Dog. We'll be able to tell what a Node 1 looks like with Frog Dog. Now, again, so the more cards you get in the deck, the least likely you're to get what you want. So we say that all the time with every Indomitable, whenever we review any of these. Whether or not you want it in your deck or not is something to keep in the back of your mind. But he has Roaring Harmonica, which is a item, instrument, noisy. So, Harvester, hooray.
Also Smog Singer, and we'll get to that.
Yes. Now, the thing that's interesting about the harmonica here is it has a pretty powerful effect. It just can't trigger very often.
Depending.
Yeah, so when you encourage a survivor, there's 2 different effects. There's a non-affinity locked effect, and then there's an affinity locked effect. The non-affinity locked effect is when you encourage a survivor, they gain +2 strength tokens until the end of the round. So, pretty good. Really makes you think about when it is you want to be doing your encouraging and stuff. So, interesting. Very cool. It's not terribly bad for just like a utility item. If you're fighting something that repeatedly knocks you down or something.
It's a bit meh compared to like the Immortal Arm.
Yeah.
But not bad.
Yeah, and then the affinity is when you encourage, or max volume. When you encourage, roll 1d10. On a 10 plus, the monster is knocked down, which is really powerful. That knocking down the monster is really powerful. But the mileage you get out of this will vary on 2 things. The first one being how often do you roll a 10?
Theoretically, 1 in 10 rolls, brah.
Yeah. So
hypothetically.
Yeah, depending on who's rolling the dice, your mileage will vary. Mathematically, you should maybe be able to do this once per showdown. Is that better than a pulse lantern?
Maybe.
Maybe. So yeah, it's on par with like pulse lantern. That's where I gauge this. But however, it says when you encourage. Doesn't say when you encourage a survivor. It says when you encourage. So I think that means is when you do the encourage survival action is when you roll. Now, there are effects that allow you to encourage survivors without actually doing the survival action. Hits the Smog Singer.
I would say that count. Yes, the Smog Singer chest.
Yes, Smog Singer chest is, I think it's when you wound or something, or when you do with a hit song, whenever you do the action that's on the chest, you encourage all survivors. There's other things that do it. There's fighting arts that encourage all survivors. I don't know if I'm making this without severe methods of knocking myself down, like lure epilepsy.
Look, hey, man, that's some Gorm White Lion Smog Singer synergy right
No, you
there.
can't, because they're both Node 1s.
Oh, shut up. We know that's not how that works. Also, just because we neglected to mention it, it's blue up, red down, and the second effect requires a blue and a red puzzle piece.
Yeah.
So, kind of funky to activate.
Yep.
Also, gear cost. The Roaring Harmonica pattern is 1 layered maxilla which is the new indomitable resort in however that's pronounced.
Indomitable.
IR. 2 lion claws and 1 leather. It also requires heart flutes.
The main thing here is I don't think I would ever want any of my Indomitable resource decks more than 5 or 6 cards. And the second that becomes a possibility, this is always going to be the first one I cut from White Lion. Always.
Yeah.
Unless there's something else in COD that's worse. But
there's something else that's in COD that's worse, or if there's something in COD that makes this way better.
Yeah, but I mean, rules per written, you got to include them all. Nothing's ever going to filter it, so
It's a real problem.
Just something to think about. But we mention that all the time with Indomitable. So, speaking of Indomitable,
So Lord's Ruin Tidus, Tiefling, Aoife.
so we have all right. Which is another Indomitable. So everything we just talked about with Kale is going to transfer right over to this. Again, you got to put these in your deck. Nothing filters out the deck when you add a thing.
Yup.
So the only way you can really look at these is what is it competing against? That's the only fair evaluation. Just as we mentioned with the Roaring Harmonica, as it stands now, sure, put it in there because you're technically going to draw it. But you got to balance out how much stuff do you really want to get in there. King currently only has 2 Indomitable.
They are both the best weapon in the game.
They are both. They are both crazy powerful. The 2 that came in Gambler's Chest.
They are both on par with Perfect Slayer, I would say.
Well, I don't know about that, but they are quite good.
They're up there.
Seditioner and Regicider are quite good. And you almost... Here's the other thing with the Node 4. We talked about this prior to starting recording. How many times are you actually going to fight a level 3 king?
This king is introduced on Lantern Year 22. And I think 29, 30, and 24 are Nemesis fights or something like that.
Yeah. So after it's introduced, you have 8 years, 3 of which are taken up already. So that leaves you with 5 years of hunting.
And you only get Indomitables, again, from level 3s.
Correct. And you're probably going to want to take out the level 1 first, because you do need some fuel. You could probably skip a level 2 king, maybe.
Definitely. I think if you take out a level 1... and make the armor set, you're pretty golden.
Yeah. So that's another year. So that leaves you with what we said, 4. You have 4 draws at getting this, right?
You have 4 draws at getting this, granted that you don't lose. It's not the hardest fight in the game, but it's not easy.
Yes. So you're only going to draw from that deck 4 times.
Yes.
Currently. Eventually, there could be things that increase ways of getting Indomitable resources. Never know, right?
Yeah.
But currently, it's time right now as we're doing this discussion, you're going to have probably 4 draws at that. 5 if you're like Omega Chad and you're just going to start at level 3 king. Which is not possible. All right, which is possible. You could just start level 3 right away.
10 if you Clinging Mist.
That's true. You Clinging Mist, you could... No. Yeah, 10 if you Clinging Mist. Yep. So, it's always possible. So you have to ask yourself, of those 4... realistically 4, possibly 5 draws, do you ever not want to be drawing Sedition or Regicide?
Perhaps. So, Clinging Mist could add an extra hunt. That one Spidicules settlement event can add an extra hunt. Yeah. I'm really stretching here.
Yeah.
But yeah.
So...
Unfortunately, Lord's Ruin is significantly worse than both the Seditioner and the Regicider.
Well, the Scythe, not the... What is this name of the Scythe? I don't even remember.
Lord's Ruin.
Yeah, Lord's Ruin.
Yeah, that's it. It is weapon, melee, grand, Scythe, heavy, death metal. 1 speed, 5+ accuracy, 13 strength, which is way lower than the other 2. It is up blue, left red. Slow, reach 2, deadly 4. But if this wounds, the monster gains +1 luck token.
Yep.
The affinity locked ability, which is 1 blue puzzle, 2 blue affinities, and 1 red affinity. Activate to archive all luck tokens of all adjacent monsters and survivors.
Yep. So,
Eh.
this is very good if you want to use it.
You
That
can build around it, sure.
Well, I mean, if you want to go fight the legendary phoenix, if you want to do that, bring this. You're good.
Yep. You're good.
If you're fighting flower knights, perfect. If you're fighting anything that drops negative luck tokens on you, great. Because this doesn't matter if it's positive or negative. You're just removing luck tokens in general
Yep.
from survivors. All right, Jay.
Okay.
I think we've covered Lord's Rune Tidus.
Yeah. Yep. And now.
I've got a question for you.
Yeah.
Would you ever run from a real fight?
No.
Are you ready to fight some evil by moonlight?
Yeah. You ready to win some hearts by daylight? She is the one named Usagi. She will never. Oh God, it's just Sailor Moon.
You have the lore pulled up for Usagi.
She's a magical girl from Japan, and she turns into a sailor to fight Tuxedo Mask. That's her lore. Usagi's tribe had explored the area around the stone cube for lantern years, but she remained the only one excited to enter its depths through the single gateway. A flooded labyrinth teeming with shark rabbits, only navigable, with strange boats and lurid lanterns capable of parting sections of the green waterways temporarily. Usagi's gleefully led her party to the depths. There shouldn't be an S there. Excited to catch something large and blood-filled to offer their star for the upcoming Lagamore Festival. She would earn the blessing of the Red-Eyed Witch and gain the eyes of the ultimate predator, the Witch of the East Star. When enough blood is sacrificed during the chaotic tribulations of the Lagamore Festival, viscera-soaked lanterns ignite an old effigy, a legend passed from one survivor to the next. The all-seeing Red Star may hinge and take upon its physical form. Walking among the carnage, the witch is made flesh, but for just the duration of the festival. Adoring and dangerous, the witch demands a challenge to test the power of her form and to collect souvenirs from her time made flesh. Things that embarrass her challengers and bring delight to the frenzied survivors that summoned her.
So we have 2 gear. The first one is a weapon. The second one are boots.
Yes, outfit boots.
Yes. Let's talk about the nails first. So we have the Lagabond nails, which are weapon, melee, guitar, bone, leather. So when you rush with this, after making a wound attempt against a hit location, place it on top of the deck instead of the discard pile. Limit once per attack. These are really good.
Yeah, really good. To reiterate, rush is when a survivor hits 3+ times in a single attack.
Yes.
Rush.
So these have 3 speed with an accuracy of 6+, but you have methods of increasing your speed. I don't think
It's not a problem now.
Yeah, I don't think it's a problem. I think it'd be neat if it was like maybe if this would be paired with 2 speed. But then you got to use them paired, stuff like that. But I think as it is, you have to try to increase your speed because 6+ accuracy is probably not going to make it so you can actively rely on doing this.
Somewhat thematically Bone Witch, I guess.
Yeah, well, I think it's because they're shark teeth, right? I think that's what they're the nails, or they could be the nails of the shark rabbit too. So
yeah, shark rabbits. Design looks a lot like the old Deathclaw gauntlet from Fallout 3, actually.
Yeah, maybe.
They're not bad at all. Green left, red down, for funsies.
Yeah, this synergizes good with Qatar too.
They're not that expensive at all. It's 2 bone, 1 leather, 1 organ.
Yeah,
that's easy.
Yeah, works good with the Qatar. Qatar special.
Yep. Yeah, it's good if you're not using like Lion or something with the guitar.
Yeah.
Well, I guess Crimson Croc has a guitar, but Gorm doesn't. So.
I think these seem to be Node 2, so these would be comparable to Beast Knuckle, which they are. So,
yeah.
I think these are fine. I think these are good. You probably need a significant way of getting speed if you want to make the ability actually trigger a lot. However,
If I had to guess, the more gear from the shark rabbits would probably increase your speed.
oh, you mean like the boots?
Maybe.
Maybe, right? So let's see, the boots.
The boots.
Vagabond hoppers.
Yes.
These are outfit with
Yes.
2 red, 1 green to make the affinity, and then you spend
They
movement.
yeah, well, yes, but they are armor, leather, shagreen. So shagreen is shark skin
Yes.
in real life, but they're a leather outfit. Yeah.
And they have 3 armor, which is on par with leather, so
Yeah.
seems like this would be node 2. Maybe. Place your survivor, or for spend your movement, place your survivor on an unoccupied space exactly 7 spaces away. Then gain +1 speed token until the end of the round. This is really good.
Hey, +2 movement, and you can move through monsters essentially.
Yes, you can move through monsters here.
That ability is on par with Node 3 and Lantern armor.
kind of. You do
It is,
need to be
like, all
exactly
nodes-
7 spaces away. So
Okay, and
you can't always get exactly where you want to be. Like you can, it doesn't say in a straight line. That's the thing that's crazy about
you can
this.
curve it. You can
Yeah.
curve it.
So it just needs to be 7 spaces away. So
Usually, you can make it work.
yeah, I mean you could
You
dash.
can't make it work, then you can just move.
You could dash pretty much always during the very first flow of a monster, because all monsters always start the showdown. 7 spaces away is always going to be within range for you.
Yeah, you can dash and surge. And
Yep, you can dash and surge. So very, very good. This is very good. These boots are very good. What is the cost of them?
The cost is 1 leather and 1 perfect hide.
Yeah, these are very good. These are very good for. I would spend a perfect hide on these.
Like, perfect hide is important because scavenger kit is important, but that's the only thing you use perfect hide for.
Yep.
You have a scavenger kit and then this.
The only thing is, hopefully, if you're trimming your cards, I think these are a little bit off. I noticed that. They're beyond, like, the affinities and stuff. I think they're a full card, but they shouldn't be a full card because they're beta cards. So I think the affinities are off slightly. But other than that, so if you trim these and round out your corners and stuff to fit them in with regular gear, the affinities might get cut. But other than that, these are great. These are, like, really cool for beta stuff.
It's definitely solid.
Yeah.
It's nothing new, but it's cool.
Yeah, I mean,
Good mini, despite the fact that it's just Sailor Moon.
yeah, I mean the boots here you'd use anytime because they're outfit.
Oh yeah,
These are great. They're leather, so it goes with
leather is viable through endgame.
yeah.
So
So
bash, it's great.
very easy because most of the time boots are not like the best thing. Like even the leather boots you can move +2 at the end of your action.
Move 1 space.
Or 1 space at the end of your action. This is +2 movement. Like, this is so much better. So these boots are really good.
+1 speed for the nails.
Yeah,
Or anything else that needs speed.
Anything needs speed. I mean, as long as you don't have a slow weapon, it's always nice to get speed. So they're great. These boots are great. They're probably going to be toned down, I would say, when we see the actual release. If we do.
Yeah, in 27 years.
Yeah, these will be toned down. The nails are very cool. I think even as they are, they don't need to be paired. I think if you did pair them, it would be better to drop it down to 2 speed. But I think these are great as is without paired. So I like both of these. I think they're very thematic, very neat. To see the shagreen keyword, very cool. And they work well together. Too bad their affinities don't help each other out, but that's okay.
You can activate all of that with the leather set.
Sure. Easily. So very good. I think it's very good. Good job, Usagi. So, thank you so much for joining me, Jay.
Thank you as always for having me.
We should see some new stuff relatively soon.
10 days we can have.
Yeah, but then they got to get shipped out.
Yeah, but at least see the shop listing.
That's true. That's true. These weren't blurred on the shop, so that was cool. Very cool. So, thank you for joining me, Jay, as always.
Thank you for having me.
Goodbye,
Go
everyone.
watch Sailor Moon.